This is Alex Lew for the Creative Life Support Mr.Smalls YouTube page, and I'm here with Lights.
What's going on?
What do you like about Mr.Smalls in Pittsburgh to keep coming back here and play?
Well, crowds here are awesome. Like, I specifically remember from the last couple of tours, we were like filming for B-roll and making YouTube clips and that kind of thing. And all the footage from Pittsburgh was some of the best stuff because the crowd's just so energetic and fun. So that obviously keeps us coming back. But and these venues are just interesting. I mean, this was in a church and it's really cool.
About this being a church, they're like, this is so cool.
Well, it's a bit abnormal. I mean, and it is good because we played a few church venues where the sound isn't great and it's very cavernous, and especially it's one thing when you're sitting in there with an acoustic guitar playing, it's really beautiful and ambient. It's made for acoustic stuff, but when you have 10 synths and live drums and a ton of stuff, usually church venues are really boomy and weird. But this one, it's been reworked to be a church and get the cool atmosphere, but you still get good audio too.
Waiting for the best, so I can get too close.
Going on in your life. Did that affect the recording of the album at all?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that I had to stop recording for 3 days so I could have a baby, I mean, there's that.
Who I saw running around
yeah. Yeah, she's going nuts. Lots of room for her to run around. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, those few years that passed between the two albums, a lot, I was on like a bit of an emotional journey, I think, through it. Like, we toured a lot on Siberia, and then when I started writing again, each time you start writing for another record, you have to kind of figure out what you want to say this time around, where you're at personally. And I think that's an interesting thing about music is, well, at least for me, when I'm writing music, I like to find a purpose behind every song, and you have to write about your experience and where you're at. And in order to write about where you're at, you have to know where you're at. And that makes you really sit down and think about where you are emotionally, what phase of your life you're in and what era you're in. Because if you look back at one of my records, each one is very much of that time in my life. This is a whole new era that was coming in, and it became about just writing something that I enjoy and that I love doing. Because honestly, there's no reason to do anything if you don't enjoy it. Why the hell would you do anything that you don't love? I sat down and tried to write a song about becoming a mother, and it just became the most cheesy song ever, you know? So I think it's more sort of like a general perspective. That's another knack with songwriting, is you have to write something that can be related to on a greater scale. You know? Not everybody's having a baby right now.
What would you say is advice for anyone who wants to go into this field?
There's so many things I've learned along the way that I pass on as advice, and it always evolves and changes. I think right now for me the biggest thing would be do it because you enjoy it. I mean, don't go in because you want to get famous. You put your heart out there, and people are allowed to tell you they hate it or that they think you suck. Or, you know, it's one of the only careers where people can really judge you pretty harshly, and if you really love what you're creating, that doesn't matter that often.
If you look at stuff and you really, really love it,
it doesn't matter, yeah. As long as you're doing what you love and you're creating something that you're really proud of, it's just beautiful from there. So get into it because you love it and do it out of passion, and make sure you're writing something you're in love with before you put it out. Then you'll never regret it.